I'm Jeff Matlow. Welcome to the best leadership podcast ever. A professor is standing in front of a classroom. He grabs a blank piece of paper and draws a dot in the middle. He holds the paper up to the class and he asks them what they see. Now, some students talk about the position of the dot on the paper, others mention the size of the dot, but everyone agrees they see a black dot. After all the responses, the professor speaks to them. He says, "This dot only takes up 1% of the paper, yet when I asked you what you see, every single one of you mentioned the dot. Nobody mentioned the other 99% of the paper, which is rife with possibilities." In the words of Anais Nin, we do not see things as they are, we see things as we are. You see, the way you experience the world is through your own filter. That filtered perspective is developed through an amalgamation of all your life experiences. Your parents, your childhood, your joys and traumas, they're all combined to create your own personalized and filtered perspective of the world. If you're sensitive to criticism, constructive comments may feel like a personal attack from your perspective. If you're a perfectionist, an error in a company presentation may send you into a downward spiral. And if you're accustomed to looking for faults, even the smallest dot on an otherwise blank piece of paper can seem like a flaw. That's the power of a personalized perspective. We don't consciously think about how our perspective influences how we experience the world. It just happens. You are just you. And that's where I challenge you. Open-mindedness to different perspectives is an important trait for successful leadership. Heck, it's an important trait for general human connectivity. But being open-minded means challenging your perspectives. It means asking yourself the complicated question, how would I think if I were to think different? The most common complaint I hear from my leadership consulting practice comes from the oh-so-popular if-only category of complaints. If only I had more staff. If only I had a better management team. If only I weren't the only person who knows how to do things right. Too often, leaders get stuck in the quicksand of their if-onlys, and they sink further and further into a hole of despair. But as Henry David Thoreau once said from his hovel in the forest, it's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see. If you believe you're looking at an unfiltered reality, if you think that change is out of your control, you'll always play the hero in your story. The problem is that it's rarely the hero that is the one to blame. This is the biggest issue with the if-onlys. By perceiving your situation as unchangeable, by not looking beyond that black dot on the page, you fall victim to victimization. You aren't the hero of the story to anybody but you. You're just seeing things from your own biased perspective. Sometimes this is done consciously, but more often than not, it's driven by the subconscious. We say things that make sense in our minds. We say something like, "Can you please hand me that over there?" And then we get frustrated at others for not understanding. They say, "Hand you what? Where?" We say, "That, there, just give it to me." Similarly, when we're shown the paper the professor displayed, everybody will say they see a dot. The challenge in life is to look at the paper and create a different perspective, to see the vast opportunity in the blank white page that represents every other perspective on the matter. How do you do this? Well, I'm glad you asked, my friend, because there's a short exercise that will only take you 5 minutes, but it could have an enormous impact on your life. I'm going to tell you what it is here. Give it a try. Grab a pencil, grab a piece of paper, grab your Notion or whatever you do to take notes. Just grab it. All right, here we go. Step 1. It's the if-only Mad Libs. So what is the if-only problem that is holding you back at your job or in your career? I want to help you figure this out, and we're going to do it with a Mad Libs. So here's the Mad Libs. If only blank, I would blank. Fill that out. If only blank, I would blank. Sometimes I hear from leaders, if only I were better a decision maker, I would. Or if only my team were held accountable, I would. All right, when you get that done, let's go to step 2, which is the I would part of what you wrote. Pretend that the if only part of the sentence you just wrote doesn't exist. So that whole first part, if only, is gone. focus on the I would half of the sentence and pretend you're able to do that now. Whatever you wrote after I would, pretend you can do it. Now write a paragraph of what your day-to-day would look like without the if only in your way. When you get that done, read what you wrote in step 2. What behavior of yours would you need to change in order to make step 2 a reality? Forget the things outside your influence. Forget the if onlys. Simply focus on the things you have the power to change right now. Oftentimes this includes things like giving up control or letting other people do the work or delegating better, similar stuff like that. Write them all down. Once you have that done, let's take a look at the perspective. Now tell me, with your new perspective, what is holding you back from starting to make those changes you just wrote down? Give it a try. I know if you're like me, you probably listen to this first, and hopefully if you're like me, you'll go back and actually do the exercise. Because you have a unique perspective, and your goal is to not let that perspective get in your own way. So do the exercise and expand your mind to the opportunity in the blank white page all around you. If you want some feedback on what you wrote, contact me. You can reach me at bytitleonly.com. I'll see how I can help. If you like this, please click subscribe, forward it to a friend who you think might like it. I'm Jeff Matlow. This is the best leadership podcast ever. I'll talk to you next time.